Welcome back to Gainesville. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Packed house here for Florida and Georgia. The Gators at 4-0 in the league, winners of 6 straight. The Dogs just a game back, with the Kentucky Wildcats, of course, also sitting atop the ledger. Here's what's at stake today for Georgia. They've got some quality wins, but this would be by far their best.
Absolutely. Rivalry game, but this really could have impacts long into their season, into March. Look at that strength of schedule. Their RPI now, Mark Fox would tell us, it's a no-lose game because Florida's RPI is so high, but you get this win, that'll really pop your resume. Now look at the Florida numbers, strength of schedule. Now they're number 3 in RPI according to ESPN. Now the issue with the RPI, we can get into this for hours, but let's keep it simple. Their key losses, they're 0-3 against the top 25 RPI, Gonzaga, Duke, Florida State. So they haven't beat any of the elite teams they play, but because they played them, and they have some other quality wins, Seton Hall, don't get me wrong, but they're a little bit, they still have some work to do too. I think they're absolutely in, no doubt, but they need to continue to play for the next 2 months, and Mike White's team is well aware of that. They
were both in the NIT last year. They'd like a different destination this time around. J.J. Frazier, number 30 in black, and Yante Maton, who's number 1. Those are the 2 big guns for Georgia. It's a little bit more of a balanced attack for the Florida Gators and Mike White in his 2nd season. Former player at Ole Miss, now on the Florida sideline. The skip to Juwan Parker, and he's a guy who has emerged in the last month or so as their 3rd scorer.
And man, Beth, they need that. We talked about Maton and Frazier, and they are the keys, but Parker's got 5 straight games of double figures. Before that, 58 games in his career, he only went to double figures 1 time. As he steps up, this team can really change.
Quavarius Hayes down low. That one won't go. Georgia strong on the glass this year. Ball security is going to be critical for them against a Florida team that loves to steal and score.
They really do. We got a deflection in the first possession. They need to get more of those.
Parker, they want to get Maton as many touches as possible down low. And Yante, the 6'8" junior from Michigan, 5 double-doubles already on the season. He's the 2nd leading scorer in the league.
The help side's got to be there. Defender got caught too high up the lane, and there was no help side. Easy throw over the top. Too simple for a guy of his caliber.
Dead ball turnover there for Georgia.
And Obede pats himself on the chest, because what he started doing, Beth, was looking to make a move before he caught the ball. Catch the rock first, big fella, turn, and throw that thing down.
Casey Hill running the point, the 6'1" senior. And Kayvon Allen is the guy to keep your eye on, number 5 in white. Dynamic scorer and playmaker. On the offensive boards inside, Hayes with the tip back.
Big play by Hayes, but allows him to set some pressure. And Mike White wants to start doing this more, extending into man-to-man, sometimes zone. Wear down Georgia a little bit, but also just make them waste some clock in the shot clock.
I think, too, they want to make Frazier work as much as possible. He's playing over 30 minutes a night as they work it inside to Obede for 2.
Nice job by Maton to make the extra pass inside. Obede sealing the defender.
Hill off the 2-man game. Justin Leon can't knock it down.
You see Kayvon Allen right now. Kayvon Allen switched on to Maton. He was pressuring him hard. Reading him or fronting him, not allowing the ball to be thrown in. Not allowing the ball to be thrown in. But the problem is you got to pressure the ball too. That was too easy. He's giving up about 6 inches and about 80 pounds. I can exaggerate, but you've got to be able to pressure the ball so you can't just throw it over the guard.
Good recognition there by Georgia on that switch. Frazier runs the show, the senior out of Glenville, Georgia. Parker with the turnaround on the baseline, and he's bumped. First personal on Casey Hill. Now that'll send Juwan to the line. 6'4" junior out of Tulsa is an 84% free throw shooter.
Now, yesterday at practice, Mike White was telling me afterwards he was a little disappointed that the mental focus from his team was not there. He thought they lacked a little maturity. This is a team that has a lot of upperclassmen, but not a lot of experience with success. So as they were having the success they've had, 6 straight wins, he felt maybe there was a little complacency, and he was trying to guard against that. These first 3 minutes showed that to me right now. Florida's getting, Georgia's getting anywhere they want on the court. They're getting ball touches inside. The screening action is working in terms of the throwback to Nate that created Obeide's layup. Right now, they're getting wherever they want, and Florida doesn't exactly look ready to play on the defensive end.
So Mike White will go to his bench and bring in John Egbunu, the 6'11 junior, who had 2 monster games last year against Georgia. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury and some foul trouble in the last couple of outings.
You see Georgia blitzed Kayvon Allen there. They ran 2 defenders at him to get rid of the ball.
And the foul as Devin Robinson had his sights set on a throwdown.
He had his sights set on an SC top play of the day.
No. Yeah.
That's what he had his sights set on. He was flying through the air with 2 hands. But Obeide wasn't skirt, got up, got the foul.
Robinson has added some consistency to the lineup. 79% free throw shooter on the year. And one of the more improved players in the SEC, the 6'8 junior out of Chesterfield, Virginia. And Robinson able to knock down the second one. Here comes that pressure off the make. Going to be big for Jordan Harris to be able to help out Frazier today. They already burned half the shot clock by the time Frazier gets it. Parker on the kick out. Long rebound to Frazier. Quick to pull the trigger, and JJ knocks it down.
That's a key problem for this Florida team, too. They're 12th in the SEC out of 14 in defensive rebound percentage. Teams are able to crash the offensive glass and have success. Can't have that happen today.
Nice on the roll from Leon, and Robinson able to find him.
Good find by Robinson. Again, help side defense a little late to get over there. Good finish.
Jordan Harris, the freshman from Iron City, Georgia, number 2 in black. Able to help out Frazier. Shot clock down to 3, and a foul with 1 second left on the shot clock bails out Georgia. Got a timeout on the floor and a 10-6 lead early on for Georgia.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the All-In Burger from Applebee's.
Georgia with the early lead over Florida, and a hot start for the Bulldogs. They've had 4 different guys score already.
Yeah, Georgia's getting anywhere they want. It's kind of surprising because Florida is one of the best defensive teams in the country, according to Ken Pomeroy, top 25 in defensive efficiency in terms of how they play and how they make it tough. You look at some of these numbers too, their SEC ranks and points per game. But right now, Georgia's getting anywhere they want on the court. They're getting the shots they want close to the basket, and they're not being made to work late in the shot clock. Mike White told me yesterday they want to make them work, so it comes down to really Frazier, Mate, they're going to be in a ball screen with 10 seconds left. Can we guard the ball screen? Well, the problem is they've only got to that situation once because they're getting where they want throughout the possession and getting great looks early on.
Dogs have hit 4 of their first 6 shots. They'll be at the free throw line here when they break the huddle.
And Georgia defensively, let's not forget.
Check that. I'm sorry, they're going to inbound it.
Georgia's also one of the best teams in the league in terms of defensive efficiency. They're first in terms of field goal percentage defense right now in league play. And they can guard you, but their man hasn't been what Mark Fox wants, so we'll see. They haven't seen it yet. We'll see some 2-3 matchup zone. He called it a mystery. I asked him, what would you describe it as? So if he can't describe it, neither can I really, but it's kind of a 2-3 matchup. But right now, their man-to-man's been pretty solid, -1 breakdown.
And there's another dead ball turnover for Georgia. Pop Giada has come into the ball game. And for Florida, Chris Chioza, their other point guard, is now on the floor. They're playing with 2 points here, essentially. And so is Kenyon Berry, who's been a big spark off the bench. Number 24 in white. 16 points a game in their last 3.
Exactly. He's a guy to watch. He only plays 53% of their minutes, but he takes 28% of the team shots when he's in there. That's the highest percentage. So he comes in looking to be instant offense.
Here is Berry. Step back. So smart. Got the defender up in the air to draw the foul. And now Kenyon will go to the free throw line. The graduate transfer from the College of Charleston, 84% at the stripe. And just like his famous father, Rick, he'll go underhand from 15 feet away.
And he was one of the best players in the CAA the last 2 or 3 years when he was at College of Charleston. I saw him play as a younger player, and his game really has developed. And, of course, this is your obligatory time, but we got to talk about Rick Barry in the underhand free throw.
There it is.
There it is. And his son executes it quite well, shooting just under 80% from the stripe.
The fifth.
Just over 80%, excuse me. I don't want to shortchange it.
The fifth of the Berry brothers to play big-time D1 ball. And again, off the make, some pressure in a 2-2-1. Nice cut by Giada, and he's fouled. Justin Leon, his first.
Good defense. Giada looks like he slipped the screen there. Good pass, good read, and great patience, too. He wasn't rushed when he got to the basket. You see he's like a shot fake, get the defender up, get yourself to the line.
Pop originally from Senegal. He was a junior college transfer from Idaho and actually played his high school ball here in Gainesville at the Rock School. So a homecoming for him. The long and winding road that some guys take. He's been decent off the bench for Georgia. Out top, Stone. This is from 3.
Stone's coming off a great game at Alabama. He's 3 for 3 from deep. 16 points. He was really effective in that game. And if he could give them something off the bench and scoring, that's a big change.
Got an offensive foul with the arm extension there on Georgia.
And that's a point of emphasis this year for officials to clean up the post play. I don't think that was really, we're going to get another look at it. I think they're going to look to see if there was anything malicious with the elbow. Mark Fox is a little confused, as am I. I actually thought that was a foul on the defender. When you looked at, he was swim moving first, and that was Stone, I believe, in there. And the officials are supposed to call the first foul. I thought Stone fouled him before that. And then there was some clearing out going on. So it got back and forth. And that's a tough call. Now they're going to check it out.
Well, and a tough one to take for Maton, so far away from the bucket.
I'm taking a look here as we get into the play. We're working on getting the right angle, but
he's actually down on the low block there.
And there's Stone kind of wrestling from behind. He's swim moving. Yeah, the left arm came up, but it's a tough. But now they're going to look, and again, if that elbow made contact and they thought it was something malicious, it could be upgraded to a flagrant 1. I really don't think that's the case. I think we should be playing ball right now.
Tony Henderson, Ron Groover, Vladimir Voyard-Tadal, our officials.
Officials just clarifying for us. Offensive foul, nothing more. Just one to check.
And that's the first on Yante Maton. Ian Frazier, one of the top combos inside-outside in the SEC. Egbunu trying to work down low. Lost the handle on the way up.
Abede, big physical guy. Egbunu, this is a tough physical matchup for him, but they need more from Egbunu inside. Couldn't deliver there.
Maton directing traffic. getting knocked around. And the Gators get a live ball turnover. Hill, baseline, in and out. Mark Fox saying, whoa, he's got his hands up over there on the Georgia bench. Wants to slow it down. That's the 4th turnover, but only the first one that was live.
Which is critical. You know, when you get pick 6 turnovers or live ball turnovers, that's a problem. And Maton's going to get his 2nd offensive foul now, just 7 minutes into the game. Probably going to send him to the bench. That could really change this ball game. And this one, I agree with a little bit more, but you see Casey Hill switching inside. That's a guard on a big. They're going to front him. Good help by Stone, so they couldn't make the pass. Good ball pressure. And that was Maton just kind of pulling Hill. Now, that's unfortunate for Casey Hill, and as former guard myself. When you start fronting a guy, as soon as you get yanked, the ref tends to give you the benefit of the doubt to the little guy, and he got that.
So Maton departs with 13 and a half minutes still to go in the first with his 2nd foul. Chiozza trying to attack the rim. Harris has the rebound. Good post move inside. Obede couldn't finish.
He got great deep post position. So I wish he would have just shot fake, slowed himself down. Might have got himself to the line.
Sloppy right now from Florida. And I think they're going to call a foul here on Allen. And that will be Kayvon Allen's 2nd personal foul.
Let's take a look. Ooh, I think that's a tough one as well. And it's just out of bounds on Florida going the other way. So now you've got 2 fouls on both teams' leading scorers, Kayvon Allen and Yante Maton. Now the problem for the Gators, though, it's a little larger as Allen checks out. They've been struggling. They struggle to score in the half court. We've already seen that. So you're taking a guy that's been getting 16 a game in the SEC, coming off, though, a struggling performance. He only had 6. And how Bama played him. They just face guarded him, denied him the rock, and took him out of the game. This is different. He struggled to get going a little bit, and now he's going to be riding the pine for quite some time.
And now we'll find out a little bit about the depth and the balance of these 2 clubs with the top 2 scorers out of the game. That one caught every part of the rim except the bottom of it. Chiozza, nice drive to the right side for the lane. Frazier. That one won't go, and now the Gators have a chance for the lead. Last 8 possessions without a bucket for Georgia. They turned it over on half of those. Couple of nice fakes for Hill, and then he passed up the shot down low.
Too unselfish. He got himself to the rim. He just got to go up and finish with his left hand. Now, Georgia offensively, you just mentioned their struggles, but they did miss 2 layups. They've got to make good opportunities when they have them. And Frazier's 3 just rimmed out. Without Maton in the game, everything really does go through Frazier, and these ball screens are much less effective because you don't worry about the pick and pop with Obede or other bigs.
Parker, good ball fake. 2nd chance for Georgia. That won't go, and now a 3rd opportunity. Frazier looking for 3. That one won't drop.
Playing with fire there. When Kenyon Berry switches, he's got to switch up, and you can't let Frazier get shots. You've got to really be aggressive on those switches. He will shoot it.
Florida just 30% shooting to start this one out. Nice backdoor from Stone, fouled on the dunk, and that'll be on Obede. Gators will have a chance to grab the lead when we come back. 10:41 to go in the first.
Triple Pat here. Number 7 Duke look at a rebound following their loss versus FSU against Louisville. Grayson Allen knocking the 3. Blue Devils up early in the first half. And over in the Big East, number 3 Villanova in a tough one versus St. John's. They are down 15-10. We will keep you updated from that one from MSG. Beth McDowell, back to you.
11-10, Georgia with the lead over Florida here in the first half in Gainesville. And after a hot start for the Dogs, they've missed their last 5 shots, and their 2 big men are in foul trouble. Mayton and Obede with 2 apiece, and both have gone to the bench. And Florida is playing without Kayvon Allen with 2 early fouls. So the 2 leading scorers are out right now for both sides.
Houston Kessler, 24 in Georgia. The redshirt senior is going to have to step up with Obede and Yante Mayton out right now. So the minutes he can give, energy, activity, can he get some offensive boards? He could be an impact player in this game, but he's got to find a way to work himself into it. For Florida, I really like the 1-3-1 zone that Mike White used in that Alabama game down the stretch. That was the difference. Alabama literally started handing the ball to them almost. I wouldn't use this early, though. I think they need to continue to stay in the man, maybe mix it in later in the half if need be. But it's a weapon that really can ignite their offense because they get a lot of turnovers and deflections out of it.
5 Georgia turnovers resulting in 4 points for Florida, as Stone hits on the second to tie this one at 11 apiece. Well, this afternoon on ESPN, it's an ACC-SEC doubleheader for you. First place Florida State in the Atlantic Coast Conference, traveling to North Carolina. And then it's off to Rupp Arena for Kentucky and Auburn. Malik Monk, the freshman, the leading scorer right now in the SEC, and trying to become the first rookie to lead the league since Chris Jackson at LSU back in 1989.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, nothing wrong with following that guy. Jackson could hoop in college and in the pros.
First foul on Chiozza, 6th team foul on Florida.
That Florida State-UNC game, that is really going to be something. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, that'll be a terrific one to watch. Hill leaves it off for Leon. Both sides having trouble at the rim right now. That was like a bowling ball knocking down the pins underneath the hoop. And an and-one opportunity for Georgia.
This could be a massive, like a real big 5-point swing. In this game, points are at a premium right now. Miss a layup on one end off a turnover. We keep talking about. You go the other way. Good finish, strong. Chiozza picks up now 2 fouls in about a minute and a half. He got called on possession before for blasting through the Woolridge screen. So now he's going to hit the bench right now. A lot of guys in foul trouble, but that's a big possible 5-point swing, at least a 4-point swing.
Woolridge at the free throw line. He plays about 9 minutes per game. That's it. And Yante Mayton, number 1 in black, returns to the game. He'll play with 2 fouls as the Georgia offense has gone dormant after they jumped out to the early lead.
Never fault the guy for hustling, but sometimes you just got to communicate, call mine, and then get going. But they were kind of battling against each other. Let's go back to Mayton coming in this game. The problem with Florida is whether it's Hayes, they don't really have a guy who can put him in a situation and get another foul on Mayton just naturally. They don't have an offensive weapon really. Getting Hayes in the block isn't that dangerous. Mayton can just wall up. So we'll see how they attack him because you really want to find a way to get his third. That would be a huge impact on this game.
And interestingly enough, the 2 personals on Mayton have come at the offensive end. So he's got to be careful even posting up. Here he is with the ball in his hands. And the runner is good from Frazier. What a tough side of the floor to defend when you've got Frazier and Mayton both over there.
You're absolutely right, Beth. He threw it in. They wanted to help off Frazier, but Mayton's smart. They helped off. He threw it right back to him. That creates a simple closeout situation. Hill goes out at bad closeout, off balance, and Frazier goes right by him. And what Frazier did in that South Carolina game, they played at home, he would have shot that. He would have taken a contested 3. He was 3 for 10 in that game and really struggled. Here, let the game come to you. He shot fakes, goes right by Hill, shoots that lefty floater, which he's excellent at, and he gets to the strike, which he's also excellent there, over 90%.
The only guy in the Southeastern Conference that's top 10 in the league in scoring, assists, steals, and minutes played is J.J. Frazier. He's got 5 so far in the first half. Robinson, the deep 3 ball.
It's a big shot for him. He's shooting it better into the conference play now. He's up over 30% for the season on three-point percentage, but he can knock it down, and they went zone for the first time there. Didn't communicate a simple handoff, and he made him pay.
Robinson with 5 points in the first half. Here comes Frazier off a screen. Maton is going to get a touch again. Turns around over that left shoulder for 2. Monte Maton averaging 20 per game. Both he and Frazier recent additions to the 1,000-point club at Georgia. Foul will be on William Turtle Jackson, the sophomore out of Athens and the first local guy to suit up for Georgia in 20 years.
That's where this team can really get good. If you can keep some of these Atlanta kids, North Georgia kids in that area staying in and go to Athens, that's when this program's really going to take another step.
Berry on the inbounds, drains a triple.
That will drive Mark Fox nuts. Simple baseline out of bounds under. Arguably their best shooter on the team, Canyon Berry, unguarded, wide open, buries it.
Shot clock down to 5. Parker off the ball fake, tries the left side. Gators with another chance to take the lead. Robinson barely touched net on that one.
Casey Hill's arguing that it was touched. I'm sorry, Casey, I know you got your boys back, but Robinson, we were the perfect angle. As soon as he let it go, I kind of cringed. He squatted like, I hope it hits rim. It did not.
He is so long, I don't know if anybody can get up there.
That's true.
Get a touch on his shot. Under 8 to play. First half, Georgia has led throughout.
Hayes just did a poor job of helping out there. He's got to hedge that screen, make the ball handler retreat. That was too weak, and they attacked him. They got themselves to the line.
Fouls on Berry, his first. Georgia stays up by a point. Under 8 to go here in the first half. Back here in Gainesville with Georgia, a 1-point lead over Florida, 7:51 to go. The Gators so good at turning you over and scoring points off of it. And Georgia thus far has been able to control the pace of this one.
Yeah, they have 6 turnovers. Now 2 of them are dead ball. They were Maton offensive fouls. And Florida only has 4 points off those turnovers. So right now, controlling the game pretty well in terms of Georgia's pace. They want to play it slower. They want to make this a half-court game. They want to grind the Gators, and they want to execute. For the most part, they've done that. Where Mark Fox is going to be slightly disappointed is they've missed a lot of makeable shots, a lot of shots around the rim. They're shooting 47%, but they should be up over 50, and they should have a couple more points in the advantage right now.
Maton and Obede have been in foul trouble in the first half, and for Florida, Kayvon Allen, their leading scorer, has played just 5 minutes without a point due to a couple of early fouls. As the Gators try and hang around without him probably until the second half now. Allen, who was the SEC co-player of the week, had been so strong the last month or so, struggled against Alabama, and now the foul trouble today.
Yeah, Alabama, like I said, face guarded him and took him out of the game.
Yep.
Now the officials, I believe, are looking to see who the foul was actually on before we went to break. JJ Frazier stepped to the line, and granted, he's 91% of the season, so they don't want him shooting it. The argument it was for Harris was actually the guy that was fouled on the play. That was Canyon Berry was saying to the official, I fouled Jordan Harris, who shoots 64%, so you'd understand why Frazier steps to the line. This can be a technical if it's deemed to be intentional, but it's always just tough to determine somebody's intentions.
Was JJ anywhere near that? They have put the point up. The first free throw is on the scoreboard, and that is number 2, Jordan Harris.
Yep. Harris is your ball handler.
Not number 1. Or not number 30, Frazier.
That's a crafty move by Frazier. I'm not going to lie. I've tried to do that a couple times. Walk to the line for a bad free throw shooter. I've been caught once. In high school, I got away with it. You'd be surprised in high school. You can get away with that a lot more.
You weren't the guy that your buddy came over and tried to shove you off?
I was the guy demanding the rock. Give me the ball at the end of the game. Give me the extra free throw opportunities. It's one thing I knew I could do.
So let's see if they're how they correct this here. Yeah, they're going to take that last point off the board, and Harris will have a 1-and-1 here. Harris is able to knock down the second. 20-17 now for Georgia.
Comes Georgia with that matchup zone again. They've got to communicate well in it. You see guys pointing and talking, know where your next pass is.
One of the things that the Gators talked about today at practice was we cannot be dormant and standing around stagnant against this zone. Remember, they are without Kayvon Allen here in the first half, and that's short from Robinson. Long rebound, and the breakout for Harris. The finger roll, another missed layup for Georgia. That's a handful of them here in the first.
And then Casey Hill just took his eye off the rock, and they could have had transition going the other way, and now it's another chance for the Dogs.
Frazier, the kick out. Harris's three. That has not been a strength for Georgia, but the rebounding has. Harris will step inside the line and drill the two.
Great job by the Dogs, really hurting Florida again on the offensive glass. Florida 12th in the SEC play in terms of defensive rebound rate. Teams have really been able to go to the glass and beat them up, and they're doing it.
5 offensive rebounds, good for 6 second chance points down here in the first half.
Beth, you just mentioned it in the play before. You can't get stagnant against this 2-3 matchup. Well, they are. And this is what I talked to Mike White about. You've got to find a way to run actions.
6:30 to play. We've got a timeout on the floor for Florida. They find themselves down to Georgia here in the first. Now the rivalry that is Georgia and Florida, no matter what the sport. They've played over 200 times in basketball. Florida won both meetings last year, and at home the Gators have won all 13 matchups over the last 15 years. You've got to go back to January of 2002, the last time Georgia left here with a win. An 11-6 run for Georgia since we were tied at 11 apiece. And neither side can make a shot right now. Things have gotten a little sloppy. Leading scorers for both teams sidelined with early foul trouble. Yante Mayton and Kayvon Allen. Pull-up is good. Juwan Parker.
Again, ball screen defense has been pretty poor by Florida. They usually switch 1 through 4. Some of the switches haven't been good. When they've strung it out with the 5 and hedged, they haven't hedged hard enough or long enough to really affect the ball handler. They need to tighten up their ball screen defense and handoff defense right now.
6 points for Juwan Parker.
Take a look. See, look at Egbuno just laying off. As the 5-man, you either got to address him, step up, hedge, and make him retreat, or make him feel some sort of pressure. When you're just kind of laying there and center fielding it as some coach is playing it, it's just too easy. He's going to be able to knock down that 16-footer.
Foul was on Jordan Harris, his first. Both sides are in the bonus, so Casey Hill to the line. 65% shooter on the year. Solid all-around game in their win against Alabama midweek. 13 points, 5 boards, 5 steals, and 4 assists in 35 minutes of action. As the Gators have jumped out to a 4-0 start in the SEC, winners of 6 in a row. And they have trailed throughout this first half to Georgia. Mayton is back into the lineup, number 1, right here with the ball, playing with 2 fouls, both of them offensive fouls. And Downey has now turned it over 4 times in the first half.
That was a good call. He dragged his pivot foot, and I like what Mark Fox is doing with him. He's playing a lot of offense-defense. Like right now, I would take him out again. He's coming offense-defense, so he doesn't pick up that third foul. But to your point, he's picked up his 2 fouls on the offensive end, so it's not safe down there.
Oh, well, Kayvon Allen now returning for Florida.
And they're back in the matchup zone again. And this is what I was saying before. Mike White wants his team to run man actions, run as if it's a man, and play hard, be aggressive. When you start to be on your heels, it's happened to me before as a player, you start to wonder what they're going to be doing. What are they in? Who should be where? You end up standing there. And at times you end up looking at the bench like, what do you want me to do?
Yep.
And that's not what you want, how he wants his team to play. He was worried about that, and right now they're struggling.
They have been so good when they can get up and down the floor, when they can beat you down the floor. And now the half-court set's being tested. Barry goes off the bounce. Front rims it.
At least that was an aggressive take. Right? And looking to create for himself and his teammates. More guys need to do that. Try to beat your man off the dribble, get the defense to collapse. Heads up.
Trying to lob it to Mayton, and they misconnect. And is that the third personal foul going to be on Yante Mayton? Or did they just step out of bounds? Let's see.
It's on Edwards.
It's on Edwards. It'll go against Mike Edwards, his first. And Georgia dodged one there.
I actually thought Mayton was just a little off balance. I mean, I don't think it necessarily should have been a foul either way, but whenever the ball handler, Egbuno in this case, traveled. So it's either you're going to call the travel or you got to call the foul. And there was some contact, so you call the foul, but it's on Edwards, not Mayton.
Mayton immediately turned to the officials and said, who, me? They're going to get both Mayton and Frazier out of the game. Obede returns now with 2 fouls. Egbuno, a 55% free throw shooter. He had a double-double in one of the wins last year against Georgia, and then had a dominant defensive performance in the other with 5 blocked shots. Yet to have an impact here today. Triple team. Good help defense from Florida.
Really was. Keystone, first one there, helped in, dug it out.
See if they can break out of a bit of a slump here, and Barry does after they had missed 5 in a row.
That's when they're at the best. Early offense, in transition, good drive, good kick by Hill.
8 in the first half for Kenyon Barry. Hill off the steal, and he's hammered on the way to the line. And then a push or two post play. Things getting a bit chippy after that hard foul.
Like the foul, though. Good hard foul by Papigiata. But this is how Florida needs to play. They need to get the ball, not stuff turnovers, off the rim, get out in transition, and be aggressive. Your point guard setting up Kenyon Barry, your best shooter, buries it, triples, they're back in it.
Prim Sarikpal alongside Andy Katz. Coming up on the Land Rover halftime report, Duke in a tough one against Louisville as they try to rebound from their loss to FSU. Georgia giving Florida a hard time, Katz.
And let me tell you something, they desperately need a quality game against someone who's likely to be in the NCAA tournament field. Beth and Dallin, Georgia needs this win, especially on the road.
Back to you guys.
We couldn't agree more, Andy. That is the case for the Dogs. They've led throughout. And as you have come to expect in these rivalry matchups, things getting a little bit dicey. After the hard foul, there are going to be unsportsmanlike fouls, one going to each side.
So that's a great foul, honestly, by Papigiata. He didn't hurt him. He went for the ball. He makes him earn it at the free throw line. Now watch 11-15. John Egbuno comes in, hits Giada on the chest. Giada retaliates a little bit. The officials look at it. It's tight. Offsetting technicals for those two, which end up being personals as well.
Hill at the free throw line. This is not one of his strengths.
But that's why you foul him, folks. You may not like it, but you're on the road as Andy just said, this team needs this W. You don't give them anything. And this place would have been up, going nuts. They would have tied the game on a transition layup. They would have got right in their pressure. Different situation, though.
Georgia has turned it over 10 times, including in each of the last 4 possessions, as Georgia's defense has cranked it up a bit. J.J. Frazier, 5 points in the first half. The crossover, the floater. And a whistle, I believe, maybe coming on the second shot here, the tip.
Yep, the push in the back, they're going to say. See the official right there, Ron Groover.
Second foul on Casey Hill. Well, tomorrow night on ESPN, we celebrate the 15th annual Martin Luther King Jr. celebration game with Chicago and Memphis. The Grizz will debut their MLK 50 Pride uniforms in remembrance of the 50th anniversary of Dr. King's death. It's the NBA on ESPN tomorrow at 9 Eastern, also on your ESPN app. Both sides a bit disjointed, both sides in foul trouble so far in the first half, trying to survive to halftime. Look at that.
These are big guys for both teams. Mayton's got 2, Obede's got 2. Giada comes off the bench, but Florida really, look at Kayvon Allen, Chioza, Hill. Those are your creators. Those are your guys that you want the ball in their hands to go create. And now they're going to have to rely on Eric Hester, number 2, a freshman's come into this game in a big moment. Allen's still in the game. He's got the ball right now. Let's see if he can start to really get into this game.
Still without a point in this first half, and the Gators turn it over. The Georgia defense has really suffocated them, holding Florida to just 31% shooting, and that's their 6th turnover. Frazier strong again on the crossover. Look at Barry coming over to make him alter the shot.
Great transition defense. 3 black shirts were back.
Allen looking for his first bucket.
This
Corralled
game
by Edwards
may set a record for missed layups.
Yeah.
There's been about 10 missed on both ends of the court. And I'm not talking circus shots. Shots you should make.
Rimmer got a hand in the passing lane. Frazier, open look for 3, and he's got it. And Georgia wants the timeout with
Kayvon Allen.
1:48 to go.
Kayvon Allen's got to go over that screen. You've got to find a way to hustle and get over that screen and stay closer to J.J. Frazier's body. That was too easy with 2 seconds of the shot clock. You know he's shooting it, and he's capable of making it contested. Be taking a look. See Allen stuck on the screen. He's got to dip that shoulder and blast through it. You're not worried about a bad closeout there. You're worried about him getting a decent look. So you blast through that screen, get your shoulder depth around it, and contest hard because you know it's going up.
And Georgia is one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. Frazier is really the one guy you got to check out there.
Up the ante there. They're one of the worst in the country in terms of actually needing threes. They're bottom 20 in the country in terms of their offense coming from the 3-point line. They don't shoot many, and they don't rely on him. He's the only one that's going to be looking to take triples.
That is their one and only 3 of the half. Barry fouled on the triple, and a chance for a 4-point play.
Like the call, right at the timeout. Mike White's got to be aggressive. We're saying we're going to go hand off to Barry, and you're going to shoot this. Allen drives hard at him. He's your best offensive player. The switch, poor switch. Harris has to really jump up there, the freshman. That sometimes play with a lackadaisical mentality. He's got to switch hard up there. He's late, and then he fouls it to compound the problem.
12 points in 14 minutes here in the first half for Kenyon Barry. He's been their offense. Parker going off the bounce, and he's fouled. You're going to give that one to Skylar Rimmer. It's his first.
Coming off the ball screen, again, ball screen defense bad. Rimmer's about 6 feet away from Houston with Kessler to set the screen. They've got to do a better job of really forcing the ball handler to feel some pressure and back dribble. I would change the way they're having these coverages. This like soft hedge, center field, whatever you want to call it, where they're kind of in no man's land, is trying to string a player out. It's not working. You've got to start to hedge hard and make that offensive player retreat dribble. The only time you're worried about it is when it's Maton. If Maton is there and you hard hedge, then they can throw back. Other than that, you're not worried about any of their bigs picking and popping.
8 points now for Parker. He's almost to his average. Working on a stretch of 5 straight games where he scored in double digits. Off the window, and that's the first basket of the half for Kayvon Allen, their leading scorer. A minute to play here in the first. Reminder, the Kansas Jayhawks are coming up next. A win might move them to #1 in the country with Baylor's loss earlier in the week. Second chance opportunity for Georgia.
Mike White just screaming, rebound the ball. He is incensed, and rightfully so. That could be a big possession as you're heading into halftime here.
Frazier working that clock. On the switch, he's working on a big. Well done by Frazier off the window.
Tremendous recognition. Rimmer, they switched the screen because they're struggling with ball screens, and he went to work.
Stone, deep three, and he got it. Georgia will have a chance here. Frazier, plenty of time. The pull-up three is short.
Stone is lucky. Sometimes bad shots go in. He took that with about 8 seconds to go. Lucky to get it to go. And then Frazier almost ended this one on a big-time triple.
A one-point game at the break here at Exactech Arena at the O'Connell Center. And a game where Georgia has led throughout. And both sides surviving their best players in foul trouble. And a 33-32 Georgia lead over Florida. Now let's get you to the studio with Prim Siripapat.
Welcome into the...
And we welcome you back to Gainesville, Florida. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. How about the first halves for Canyon Barry and J.J. Frazier?
Yeah, Barry's really what he did. He kept them in the game right now. Like, he came off the bench, 12 points. He only plays 53% of the minutes, but he takes 28% of the team's shots when he's in the game. That's the highest percentage. He's 3 for 3 from distance, 12 points, kept them in it. Now, Frazier on the other side, he's doing what we expect him to do. That's the end of the shot clock. That's a defensive breakdown. He goes by. Defensive switch this time. He beats Zimmer, and then a pretty finish off the glass. He had those 5 points late in the half. He ends up with 10 in the first half, and they really stepped up when Maton went out.
Yeah, both sides had their leading scorers sitting for extensive minutes. And you're watching the SEC on ESPN. Packed house here at Exactech Arena at the O'Connell Center, where the Gators have won 6 in a row. They are tied with Kentucky atop the SEC standings. Georgia is a game back, so plenty on the line today. And as we've heard Andy Katz talk about in the studio, this is huge for Georgia to start getting that resume together and get a signature win against a Florida team that comes in as the #3 RPI in the country with the #2 strength of schedule. And Florida rather, has its first lead of the day.
Great take by Casey Hill, aggressive. And I like when they pick up the pressure. I'd like to see them actually run and jump some of the ball handlers, really show more aggression and maybe make Georgia turn it over. They do have 10 turnovers and not a great passing team.
Deontay Maton immediately gets a touch against a Florida defense that Mike White was not real happy with. How often, if ever, have you seen a team at halftime? They weren't getting up shots. They were working on defensive slides coming out of the locker room.
It's not common. Even John Giannini, Dr. John Giannini from LaSalle, he'll do it. He'll actually run the 4-on-4 shell drill in pregame, and sometimes at halftime they come out, but it is few and far between you see a team working on their slides and rotations, but they allowed the Bulldogs to shoot over 60% from the two-point line, inside the arc in that half. That's just not good enough for one of the top 25 teams in the nation in defensive efficiency.
Maton fouled inside. We'll show you from the high camera angle, the working on the D instead of the O coming out of the locker room.
He's not worried about them making shots. You can see he's saying to them, offensively, guys, go be aggressive. And Allen and Hill were right away. Defensively, they need to tighten up. And the effort they're putting forth right here, not exactly exceptional either at halftime. So we'll see. That possession right there, again, defender caught too high. Maton pushed his defender up the lane, and then there was no weak side help. They've got to be linked in. That's why the slides are important. Rotations are important. Know where you're at, know where the next pass is, know where the help man is. All that's got to be interconnected.
Maton second in the league in scoring, rebounding, and field goal percentage. Having himself a heck of a year. The junior has gotten better each and every step.
I think he's a pro, and he's got one more year to continue to get better. He averaged 5 points a game as a freshman when he was just a kind of a big bruiser. And he's developed his game out to 18 feet. And Kavaris Hayes just took a big hit from Devin Robinson.
That was the teammates colliding.
It's almost like a football play where you see a safety, hunting a wide receiver, and he clears out the cornerback. That was kind of that situation right there. Mike Mitchell from the Steelers, always good for that. Just dinging up our
Steelers
guys.
reference. There you go.
Hey, got a big game tomorrow night now. Take a look. Hayes takes a big hit. He's going to walk to the end of the bench and see if he receives some attention.
Frazier, who was the leading scorer with 10 in the first half for Georgia. Parker has joined him in double digits, and Leon will be whistled for the foul.
Good battle, and Maton picked up his 2 fouls in the first half, as we mentioned a number of times, on the offensive end. There he battled straight up, and Leon was battling hard with him, but did foul him to get in front.
2 now on Leon. Obede, who was limited with foul trouble in that first half as well. Maton again, assist Frazier.
Should be assist for Juwan Parker. What a screen. He just laid a screen on a defender, and then Maton came right over the top. Good entry pass. Great execution by the Bulldogs. Take a look. We can see the handoff, but inside, Harris is going to come up and set the screen. You could just see him at the top of your screen. Got it on Leon hard. There was no communication. The switch was late, and then a good entry pass.
Short on the shot outside, and a foul going for the rebound will be against Florida. And Leon has picked up his 3rd personal, and he will depart, replaced by Keith Stone.
The problem with that, though, too, is Leon can give you some offense. He can knock down threes. I mean, he shoots it at a 43.5% clip. And now taking him out of the game again limits them a little bit on the offensive end, where they have struggled today, only shooting just over 35%.
Harris. Maton with the tip, gets it to go, and Yante has come to play in the second half after sitting in the first. A 7-0 run here for Georgia after Florida had grabbed its first lead.
It's a good shot, good screen. They got it inside the 3-point line, 17-footer. It's a good look.
Frazier with the runner off the window, a 9-0 run, and they have taken the Rowdy Reptiles out of it.
He's a fun kid to watch play. I mean, totally in control there, and great pace. Beautiful touch and finish.
Timeout, Florida. It seemed like just a moment ago they were up by 1, and now 9 unanswered for the Dogs early in the second to bust this one open. (42-34) Georgia on top of Florida early in this second half. This would be huge for a Georgia team that does not have a ranked win yet on the season. And according to Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology, Georgia is in the next 4 out, trying to work their way in.
And this would be a massive win if you get a road win against, right now, the 3rd-ranked RPI team. But the good thing for Georgia, too, is they actually play the top 3 twice. They get home and home, so if you have a tougher schedule, but you really want that in the SEC because there aren't a lot of opportunities to improve your RPI and your standing. There aren't a lot of resume games. It's not the ACC where you have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 chances. Here you've got 6 at the max, and they get all 6.
Stone snapped the drought there after Florida had missed its last 5 shots. He was able to knock it in. Live ball turnover. Allen, who has struggled so far this afternoon, will that be the play that gets him going?
And that's Mark Fox just looks exasperated because you come out at up 8 points, and then that's just lazy with the ball. You set a ball screen, he hardly rolls, they switch it, and then J.J. Frazier, your senior guard, is too easy, too lazy with the ball, and then you foul him down the other end. This is, again, a huge 5-point swing out of a break, potentially, at least a 4-point swing, and that was preventable. When you value the rock and you're really making crisp passes and you're playing smart, that doesn't happen.
Gets the 3-point play. Here comes the press. Frazier got it.
Good screen. And Kayvon Allen again got late there getting there, but they've got to help. That was Mike Edwards, I believe, who set the screen. He's not a threat, so you've got to help out there and get the shooter off the line.
He's got 15. Stone, wide open look.
Great find by Chiozza. And now he had 2 fouls early in the game, and so did Hill, and so did Allen. Your 3 really creators off the bounce, so having him back in the game helps their offense.
Obede with the delivery down low to Juwan Parker.
It's textbook execution. The screen was hard. Obede rolled hard, wanted the rock. The rotation was there. It was good help defense, but they beat it. Great throw. Interior passing.
Parker now with 12. That's 6 straight games in double digits. And a foul on Obede.
Obede begging.
That's his
begging
third.
that not to be a call, but that's a pretty easy call. We haven't seen a lot of guys knocking down outside shots out here, but J.J. Frazier again comes off the down screen. The help isn't there. He makes you pay. Now the other way, great find by Chiozza, in trouble, inside to outside. Stone, he was 3 for 3 last game. That's a big one.
Five-point lead for Georgia, under 15 minutes to go as the Gators are trying to keep alive a 6-game winning streak. The Dogs have not won here at the O-Dome in 15 years. They're trying to break that and pick up a huge win for their resume here this afternoon. It's been points off of turnovers and second chance points, 2 of the big stories today.
And for Georgia, they have the 10 second chance points, but Florida, they live and thrive off of forcing turnovers and scoring. So they have 11 points off of turnovers, and that's what they need to continue to do, is find a way to create turnovers, get going the other direction. And it's not easy, but Georgia plays into it. Now, they are 11th in the SEC in terms of their offensive turnover rate. 16% of their possessions in league play end up in the other team's hands. They have to tighten up down the stretch here on the road, because Florida's going to keep coming at you like they did against Alabama on the road. I'd like to see some 1-3-1, give them a different look, have them play off balance. They have length, athleticism, deflections, and turnovers could be created from that half-court 1-3-1.
Egbunu gets 1 of 2. The bench right now outscoring the starters 24-19 for Florida. Bulldogs have been up by as many as 8 here in the second half. Deontay Mayton might count that on a goaltend.
Just got to be smart. You heard the whistle, and that was like a volleyball spike. That's a good call, too.
We're going to wave off the bucket.
Really? Let's take another look. Our angle right here looked like that was coming down.
Instead, it'll be 2 shots here for Mayton. 70% shooter on the year. The foul was on Canyon Berry, his second.
As soon as Maton gets that touch inside, though, he's got to feel more pressure. He's making quick moves, but they have to have guys that sink to the ball right away, and guards will help dig it out. Again, Georgia shoots bottom 25 in the nation in three-point percentage, so you're only worried about Frazier. You can help off of everybody else.
Maton now 11 points on the day for him. Berry walked with it.
See that? You could almost see that happening. He was playing too fast. As soon as he got the handoff, he almost wanted to make him stop his left foot and just look at the rim. Usually that slows you down. He just kept running.
Turnover number 8 for Florida.
They're actually great. They're top 25 in the country in terms of offensive turnover rate. That helps their efficiency. They usually don't cough it up. But here comes that 1-3-1.
Forcing the trap.
I wanted a touch.
Out of bounds. Under 10 on the shot clock.
I just wanted to rock. I wanted to see if they could just get up and just chuck one real quick, you know?
Reflexes aren't what they used to be, guys.
They're definitely far, far behind. They were never good to begin with either.
Beth Bowens and Dallin Cuff with you here in Gainesville. Florida and Georgia for the 212th time, and it's a shot clock violation. The Gators with the slim edge in the overall series.
And Mark Fox knew this was going to come. He knew the 1-3-1 would be there at some point, but that's exactly what Florida wanted. They got a deflection and they got a shot clock violation. Georgia has to remain aggressive against it and look to get it in the high post and the short corners and play through that.
Foul will be on Parker, his first, as we start a big day around college basketball. Number 2 Kansas is coming up next against Oklahoma State. The Jayhawks could move to number 1 in the land.
I think they will if they get that W.
And then how about the showdown tonight out in the West Coast, Spokane. 5th-ranked Gonzaga, 21st-ranked St. Mary's in a massive West Coast Conference showdown. The Zags, the lone unbeaten team remaining in the land, and that's set to tip at 9 o'clock.
You like offense, as most do?
Yep.
Check out that ball game, because Gonzaga's got guys that can score at all 3 levels. St. Mary's one of the most efficient, fluid offenses in the country. So much fun to watch tonight.
Another foul on a 3-shooter, and that's number 3 on Yante Maton.
Maton frustrated with himself.
Yeah.
As he should be. We mentioned Keith Stone. He's 3 for 3 in his last game. And he can knock down the 3, but can't foul a jump shooter there. Make him make a contested one in your face and you'll live with it. Now he's got 3 fouls with 13 to go in a game that's been called rather tightly on both sides. That's tough.
All the bigs in some foul issues now. Stone into double digits. Keith, the redshirt freshman out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, coming off a 14-point performance against Alabama midweek. Pop, Derek, and Maton all with 3 each. Same goes for Leon and Egbunu. Kayvon Allen had those 2 fouls early. He only played a handful of minutes in the first half. Back to a 1-possession game. Maton skip pass picked off. Berry pull up short. That was a big stop for Georgia as the Gators were ready to bring the house down.
And if they score, they're going back. They're playing miss make right now. On a make, they're going, or dead ball 1-3-1. On the miss, they're going back to man, which they're in right now. I'd like to see more of that zone. If you're a Gators fan, that's what you want to see right now. 2 deflections, 1 turnover, and 2 turnovers, 2 shot clock violations.
Big 3 there by Jawan Parker. They don't make many of them, but they've had a couple of timely ones today. 15 now for Parker.
On the season, Parker is 4 for 24. Well, 5 for 25 now. It was a big shot.
Timeout called by Georgia. It's a 6-point game with 12:30 to go.
You can get
ringside here in studio. Number 7 Duke versus number 14 Louisville. This is over on ESPN. Grayson Allen from the top of the key knocks down the tray. He's got 14 points so far. Cardinals, though, with the lead. Bethan Dowling, back to you.
Thank you, Prim. We've got a 6-point game here. Georgia with the lead over Florida, looking for their first ranked win of the season, while the Gators are trying to keep alive a run of 6 straight wins and a 4-0 start in the SEC, tied for first place right now with the Kentucky Wildcats. Look at the strength of schedule in the RPI. Big numbers.
Big numbers, but the reason they're there is who they played and lost to, though. Gonzaga, Duke, Florida State. Now, they have beat Miami, who's crushing Pitt right now on the road, so that helps their RPI. Seton Hall, good win they had as well. But overall, Florida still needs to play their way in. Mike White told me they're not talking about the tournament. He's had some heartbreaks in Louisiana Tech, losing in tournament games, not getting at-large bids when they thought they might have deserved it. So they haven't talked about that at all. They know they have to take care of their business. There is a 4 seed right now by Joe Lunardi, but you have to win games in the SEC and play very well because the league overall has not been great. So if you start to suffer a lot of losses and home ones at that, you can quickly find yourself on the bubble.
A reminder that this afternoon on ESPN, a good doubleheader for you with Florida State and Carolina at 2 Eastern. And then Kentucky-Auburn out at Rupp Arena. We head to the SEC. Malik Monk, the leading scorer in the conference. Both those games on ESPN and available streaming on your app. Yante Maton just a moment ago picked up his 4th personal foul, and he is on the bench, the 2nd leading scorer in the SEC.
That's a huge foul, obviously, but now that they're playing that zone, too, you want your bigs, especially who's in the short corner, to be able to knock down shots. That's the 2nd time that's happened this game. Barbarian standing at the top of the key. The guards don't communicate who's going to guard him, even if they're in their zone out of bounds, which it looked like, and you just let him hit Barry a 3. That just drives coaches crazy.
Barry and Stone, 27 points off the Gators bench today.
Good switch that time by Robinson. I thought he was not going to get there to not let Frazier hit a 3.
Frazier's runner is swatted into the Georgia bench. Egbudu got up there for it.
Up there in the rarefied air. Get up, big fella. That's a good note. That was definitely not a goaltend. Coaches Mark Fox is upset, but that was a great block.
Well, he is really hammering away at the official, Tony Henderson. Shot clock is down to 3.
They went to the zone.
With the steal.
Zone created a steal and opportunity now.
Barry looking for 3, and he's got it! And a chance for a 4! Of the day for the 3-ball shooters.
You don't see that often, but this is where the Gators thrive. Turnover on one end, blowing the ball up the court. Chiozza gets in the middle, creates a help situation. You kick it out to your best shooter. Delivered it on time, on target, hands and feet ready, buckets. And just like that, the Gators are up.
Down by as many as 8 in this second half, and it's now a 1-point Florida lead with Yante Maton on the Georgia bench in foul trouble.
And this is what's going to be critical here is they're going to go to the zone. They're going to extend that 1-3-1. And Maton usually in that short corner can knock down the shot, keep the defense honest. He's not in the game. So right now, you have to have Frazier and the guards find ways to penetrate off the bounce or the pass into this middle of the zone.
Seven unanswered points since Maton departed. No reset.
Thought that should have been a kick, which would have led to a dead ball in 15 seconds.
Robinson for 3. Parker weak side. Going back to the man. Parker. Chiozza for three. Clanked it. Parker with another board. 15 points, 6 rebounds for Juwan. One of the stars today for Georgia. Along with 15 points for J.J. Frazier. Frazier off the bounce. The kick out to Harris. No. Terrific hustle by Georgia to keep it alive. Willridge.
Allen's got to get that weak side rebound. He looked like he pulled at his, grabbed at his knee a little bit. He's got to move that guy off the block and find a way to come down with that rock.
Boy, Florida went under the screen again. But Frazier couldn't knock it down.
Absolutely right. They're playing with fire sometimes. They're lucky.
Barry wide open. That won't go. Georgia's got numbers. Harris taking it himself.
Kavon Allen's got to be smart. He ran up on that offensive rebound that he was never going to get. And once he did that, that outlet was wide open and led to a transition opportunity. If he doesn't run up with that rock, they have 3 back. They're still playing defense right now.
Georgia goes back on top. 9 minutes to go.
In that 2-3 matchup, Florida's got to remain aggressive.
Allen, hesitation, and then kicks it all the way back out to Barry. Gators got on the glass, but they couldn't put it down. Harris in traffic. Offensive foul.
Big take. Freshman Jordan Harris stepping up in transition, putting his body on the line. Great take by Chiozza. Harris, it's a smart, aggressive play, but Chiozza is there, steps over, takes it. Crowd likes it.
A couple of points, a couple of rebounds, 3 assists today for Chris.
We picked up those 2 fouls in, I don't know, 90 seconds in the first half and sent him to the pine. But he's done a good job. It's tough sometimes when you don't play in that first half and you sit to get into the flow of the game. And he really has in the second half, setting the table for his teammates, making some plays on his own. And now they got to identify again. They're in that 2-3. Start to run something. They like to run man actions against it. Get going.
Chiozza and Hill will stay in the game together. Barry can't dial it up. We're going to get a foul here on Hayes on the hold of Mayton, who has come back onto the floor for Georgia. That's his first.
Take another look. That's first time, and you could see it right away. I didn't even see the rest of the play. His left arm grabbed. Left arm grabbed his right bicep. That's foul. Now, I would like to see Florida stay in this 1-3-1. I think Georgia, when they get to see the man, it's almost a sigh of relief. They don't want this 1-3-1. As I say that, of course, right to the basket layup. But that is where the 1-3-1 is weak. The corners, the short corner, if you can get that guy at the bottom running out at you, you can beat him or you can knock down shots. Good execution.
Strong to the rim there by Willridge. Chiozza. Barry, nice cut, nice find by Chiozza.
We were at a great angle. We were right behind that play. You could see Barry make the cut. His defender lost sight of him. Beautiful dime.
A season high for Barry, the most he's scored here at Florida, 21. Gonna get a whistle and a foul here on Florida. Gonna be on number 25, Keith Stone.
Crowd doesn't like it, but they're gonna like this. Nice shot fake, beautiful backdoor cut, reverse layup. We got a tight game and a rivalry game with a lot on the line. Don't go anywhere.
Back here in Gainesville, a 1-point lead. Georgia over Florida, 7:37 to go. Tonight at 11 Eastern on ESPN. Be sure to tune in for SportsCenter at Night with Kevin Connors and Nicole Briscoe. They'll have all the highlights for you from around the college basketball world. And, of course, NFL playoffs today. The Seahawks, Falcons, and the Texans, Patriots at SportsCenter at Night. Tonight at 11 on ESPN. It's a season high, his best career night in a Florida jersey for Canyon Barry. who's been red hot the last couple of weeks. 21 here today.
You see him yelling to his teammates, senior trying to lead, and this is a guy just making plays. That's a terrible defense breakdown. Great pass by Chiozza. He catches it hands and feet ready, and one. He puts in the free throw, too, and this is a player making a play. Great cut, great pass, great finish. Chiozza and him really have a good rapport with one another in terms of knowing where they're going to be and delivering good passes and finishes.
Barry has been carrying the load. In fact, he and Keith Stone, 36 points off of the Gators bench today. 15 points apiece for Parker and Harris for Georgia, as Maton has been fighting foul trouble all afternoon. He's got 11.
Sorry, that's great play design. Now they want to get it to Maton, and you can't, if you pull back, you can't really see it, but J.J. Frazier's on the weak side there, so you can't help off of him, and everybody's above the free throw line, so there's no help. And he got his defender up the high side, and they throw it over the top. Great play design by Mark Fox out of the break, great execution, gets himself to the line. Can he capitalize?
3 consecutive 20-win seasons for Mark Fox in this Georgia program. It's the best 4-year stretch in their history in terms of SEC play. They've been 500 or better for 4 years in a row. A statement that only Georgia and Kentucky can say in the league. Anytime you're with Kentucky, that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Not sure how many bids the league will get this year. Could it be 3, 4, maybe 5? And these are teams that'll be fighting for those spots as Stone gets a couple more.
That was a great possession by the Gators because they ran the 2-3 matchup, but they came right down and ran their man action. Handoff, ball screen. They were crisp and moving and not letting the defense dictate to them.
Georgia able to come right back. Maton. $15 now for Yante. Hayes, they're trying to attack Maton with those 4 fouls. Robinson off the spin.
Here, J.J. Frazier screaming, he's still screaming, hey, he wants Jada to give him the rock, and he waits for that long, and now it's going to be a turnover. That's what he's saying. He's saying, in the backcourt, give me the ball in the backcourt. Let me slow it down. Let me run the show. Freshman, get it out of your hands.
Us point guards can be picky like that.
I mean, even a converted point guard like the Chuck knows better. You give it to the guard and go get on the wing.
He'll give it back to you,
Yeah,
to Chuck,
exactly.
when you get in position, right?
Let him deal with all the pressure. You don't need that.
Coming up on 6 minutes to go. It's been a frustrating day so far for Allen. And they work it inside. Egbunu.
Stone, good pass. Stone, again, is having great minutes off the bench. Him and Barry are really bringing something off the pine, and they go to that 1-3-1 again.
Frazier, nice move to get to the rim.
That's where Barry can struggle. Close out defensive situations. That was a complete blow-by.
Here's Kayvon Allen. He's only attempted 5 shots today. Here's his 6th.
When you said that, I was going to say he's going to get 6 this possession.
Yeah.
The first time he touched it, the closeout was just there in time. The second time, closeout wasn't there. It was a good shot for him.
He had his fatigues on that one. He was hunting.
Yep.
Maton walks with it. 17th Georgia turnover. Yante responsible for 5 of those.
That's a warning now. He's got to be careful. Oh, there it is.
Did they just give him?
They did. Mark
the
Fox
tee.
is looking around. And Mark Fox is
He just
incredulous.
found out. He just
doesn't know.
found
He
out.
doesn't know what happened. And it was quick because I thought you could read Vladimir Voyod-Tadal's lips say warning, and then within 2 seconds later, he made the T motion, and that was that. My question, though,
Well,
and we'll
wait a
find out
second
from
now,
the
did
official,
they-
is it on Maton exactly, or is it
Yes.
on the bench? And we're saying it's on Maton. Maton did slam the ball. Slammed the ball a couple times,
Yeah.
and he was running his yap a little bit. Officials gave him a second. He's got to zip it up right away, though. We didn't take it back front. Officials going to come talk to us now.
So they have decided that it was a bench warning and not a technical foul. So now they're looking at Yante Maton's personal fouls here. It's going to stay at 4. So Maton, even though he's out right now, still involved with 4 personal fouls. And Frazier with the lay-in the other way. That's a big swing for the Dogs.
Man, is it ever. You get your leading scorer to stay active in the game, although he's on the bench right now. Kayvon Allen, just a horrible turnover and a big swing.
They need to find Stone or Barry right now. They've got the hands.
Barry wants it too.
Working on the much smaller Frazier, and he's called for the offensive foul.
Trying to take a look. Barry just said, it's me. Everybody's finding out late right now. Take a look. He's got that off arm. It's a tough one. That one, his off arm didn't come up. Frazier's in position there. Most refs are going to call that again, especially when it's a little guy there. Sometimes you get the call. When you're an all-league player, sometimes you get the call.
Yeah.
And that worked out. Now, let's go back to the non-Maton technical. I'm glad they didn't give him that tee. Florida fans are going to hate me, by the way, right now. But it just is what it is. He was a little over the edge, but I think he zipped it up enough. That would have been a really, really quick tee.
Yeah.
To warn the bench, because they warned him for delay of game, to the bench first, and then to tee up Maton that quick would have been really quick.
I think the question probably for Florida fans is why not a tee on Fox? Because on the replay, Maton did not really slam the ball down into the through the floor.
Yeah.
But Fox was very animated. Maton now back in the game. Here's Frazier. 4 minutes to go, and what would be the biggest win of the season for Georgia if they can hang on to it. Tough shot by Frazier. And is that a 5th personal foul now on Maton? And another potential big swing in this game.
That's it. That is the call.
5th foul, and Maton is done with 3:52 to go. Georgia with the lead, but they'll have to finish it without their leading scorer.
And your senior, Casey Hill, boxing out hard, created the contact, and that's going to put Maton on the bench for the rest of this one.
Since Rippapad here, number 7 Duke in a tough one against number 14 Louisville. This is over on ESPN. Donovan Mitchell with the tray, and the Cardinals are up 69-60 in the second half. Just a reminder, coming up on ESPN2 at 2 p.m., Josh Jackson and number 2 Kansas will play host to Oklahoma State. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Prim. Well, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Mason. And the Jayhawks, ever since that opening loss to Indiana, they've run off 15 in a row. And coupled with Baylor's loss this week, they got housed at West Virginia. The Jayhawks have a chance maybe to move up to number 1. Yante Maton is done. 15 points in 19 minutes. He's fouled out.
And we'll take a look. He's in your screen here. He's got Casey Hill working hard on him. Hill had the position. You see the elbow, the clear out. He's just pulling him down. And not only is that a foul, that sends Hill to the line. So, I mean, just a massive swing right there as Maton sits out. And they were starting to go to him. He'd scored 4 points in the previous 2.5 minutes. They were looking to get him touches inside. He's their closer down the stretch. Now he's out. Can Frazier carry the load? Can Parker continue to step up? Parker's got 15 points right now.
Now they're going to face guard Frazier, trying to keep the ball away from him with Casey Hill, but JJ's got it. He's going to have to play a massive role down the stretch. Barry.
Barry saying,
6 on the shot clock, the bump.
Barry saying, I just did the same thing on the other end, and you called that on me. I think he's got a gripe there. I think there was a fine call for him to take that foul down on the offensive end. There, if you're going to call it on one way, you got to call it the other way, too.
Instead, it's the 4th personal foul on Barry, who is Florida's leading scorer today with 21 points. Woolridge to the line. Foul trouble all day long for these two sides. Their depth has been tested, their bench. And particularly for Florida is what's kept them in this game. Hill off the hesitation. Florida will keep. Look at the 40 bench points for Florida.
Not a starter on Florida's team that's more than 5 points right now.
Hill goes to the left hand and gets the roll.
Senior stepping up and making plays. I thought he was going to shoot the floater, which would have been real tough with the right hand. Under control, shot fake, rip through, finish over the big.
1-point game with 3 minutes to go. The shot clock for Parker, no. Obede and Barry battling for it. It will go to the Gators and a chance for the lead.
Florida does need to clean up the defensive glass stuff. They've got to find a way to get clean rebounds because that can help their offense. They get going the other direction. This is a great fight and great effort, but it was 3-on-1 down there. You got to find a way to get that clean and go. And it was a good call by the official. Obede right off his hand out of bounds.
The drive, Allen. Barry, a runner, and the Gators are on top.
You see Casey Hill, 0 and white, denying Frazier the ball.
The block on the drive by Harris. Allen to Barry, the trail 3. Egbunu trying to keep it alive. And it comes down to Georgia and a foul.
I love what they're doing defensively. They're going to make somebody other than J.J. Frazier beat you. So the denial's out of your screen. Harris has the lane. Look at that. Great shot. Great block by Stone, but also Egbunu. He's going straight up. Rule of verticality, straight up, arms up, so he's not fouling. That was a great job to play good defense and get it going the other way. That was almost like Barry was too open. I mean, he was wide open. Your crowd's going nuts. You're feeling it. And he was a little too juiced and had too much on the ball.
J.J. Frazier, one of the best at the free throw line.
Not just in the SEC, but in the nation.
Country,
We're talking about all of them, folks. 91%.
Looking for his 21st point of the day. Short.
Sorry, JJ, we did it to you. It just always happens, without fail. Commentator Jinx.
Under 2 to go, timeout Florida, and a tie game here at Exactech Arena. The day is only just beginning, folks. Coming up later today on ESPN at 2 o'clock Eastern, it's Florida State and North Carolina. The Noles in first place in the SEC. They've already got wins over Duke and Virginia, led by Dwayne Bacon. And then it's Kentucky and Auburn. The Cats right now at 4-0, tied with Florida for first place in the SEC.
Not making any more friends here either. I love the Noles. Florida State, those guys, 10-11 deep, long, athletic. They press you. Got 4 different guys that can score 20 on you. They're tremendous. They're in the midst of a stretch of 6 straight teams playing ranked teams. Now back to the SEC. This is a big game, not just for the standing. Obviously, you want to find your way in competition with Kentucky at the end there. But we're talking about March and how many teams are going to get in. Both these teams need to continue to pad their resumes. Florida's in right now. Georgia's on the outside looking in my opinion. This would go a long, long way to putting them in the field.
Gators want to hold court at home because they are on the road at South Carolina next. And the Gamecocks start the day at 3-0 in the league.
Like Frank Martin's crew a lot. Talk about a team that can guard you, pressure you in half court. Woo.
Chance for Georgia now to jump on top. Yante Maton has fouled out.
Trying to get Obede a touch.
Harris on the drive. Got it to go. Jordan Harris, the freshman, with the runner.
When in doubt, shoot it. He couldn't get it inside. He just drove. There was no help. He's his lefty. He was going to his left side.
1 minute to go. And Florida gives it away.
Too easy. And Casey Hill just lost his footing. He's upset. He's made plays down the stretch, but that one was one he'll want back. See, earlier in the game, they were switching these ball screens 1 through 4. With the 5 Obede coming out, you're not going to switch. Call the screen.
Frazier. JJ able to get it back. Checks the shot clock. It's winding down. And it's turned over. Florida's got it. In transition, Hill fouled on the drive. And a pair of free throws coming to try and even this game with 23 seconds to go.
Florida lucky there, honestly. Oh, Egbunu doesn't call the screen. Casey Hill gets his clock cleaned at the top of the key, runs right into the screen, and then they were able to hustle back because the pass that Frazier threw out, the help was good enough, caused them to reset their offense, and it was no good. And the length of the Gators took over. And you get the steal going the other way. Now Hill's 66% on the line. These are big. He's 5 for 6 on the day, though.
The only 4-year senior on the Florida roster. I think they are talking about adding a second to the clock.
Yes, they just adjusted. There's nothing worse than this, too. You're standing at the line.
Yep.
I'll tell you, quick story time.
Essentially icing them.
You are. Quick story time. I'm in high school. We're playing a game of Clearwater versus Eastlake High School. We're playing on the road. TV game. You didn't have any TV games back then, 15 years ago. I'm pretty money from the free throw line. I'm a 90% free throw shooter in high school. Missed the front end of a 2-shot foul, 3-point lead. My coach yells at me, I'm a big Seinfeld fan. These pretzels are making me thirsty. I'm smiling on television at the line, make the 3, because you're not thinking about it. But it's hard when you sit there and think about it, but Hill stepped up.
Those pretzels are indeed making him thirsty. They added 1.2 seconds to the clock, and now it's a 30-second timeout for Georgia. They'll try and ice him a bit here and see if they can set something up. So both sides are in the bonus. Georgia has the arrow. Both sides have 1 timeout left.
Now, if you're the Gators right now, you have to prepare for what happens if you miss. So obviously, you don't really want to talk about that. You say Casey's going to make it, and we come back. Here's what we're doing. We're in this defense, and we're going to switch on Frazier, whatever the strategy he's drawing up. But you also have to prepare for if he misses, how you're going to play it. Are you going to? They have enough time now. You can force a trap or two, and you've seen Georgia willing to give you the rock. They've got 18 turnovers. You don't want to foul too quick. You want to give them a chance to turn it over.
13 straight losses over the last 15 years in Gainesville for Georgia. They're trying to break that slump. And for the Gators, can they continue their 6-game winning streak and stay atop the standings in the SEC? Offensive rebound for the lead. That won't go. Out of bounds to Florida. They'll have another chance. Down 1.
Now, the call was for Florida, but I'm pretty sure they're going to review that because that was tight. And Egbunu, great rebound. But I thought he anticipated contact. Like, he's kind of shying away from it. He's a righty. I'd like to see him just rip it up. Really just try to dunk that ball with his right hand and get himself to the free throw line at worst.
So there will be an official review to determine who touched it last. As of right now, it is Florida basketball underneath their own bucket with 20 seconds to go.
That'll drive Mark Fox crazy. Only 3 offensive rebounds you've given up all game. It was a foul shot, no box out. Keeps this thing alive. Take a look now.
Georgia's hands were closest to it, but watch if did Stone pluck it out of there?
Did his hand come pop it? It's tight.
Ooh.
That's just really, really tough. Now, bear in mind, the call on the floor is Florida ball, so it has to be, incontrovertible, evidence that it's going to stay, that it went off of a Florida player. And it looks like kind of like Stone's hand is there, but you can't tell if it hits Stone's hand and then a Georgia player before going out.
I think it's off the inside of the wrist of the Georgia player right there. Now watch, it will stay. Stone does get a piece of it.
He gets a piece of it there. Did it hit anything else?
It looks like it might come off the inside of the wrist still, last to touch it.
Now, if this is Florida ball, remember Georgia has fallen asleep at the wheel on a number of baseline out of bounds plays. 2 wide open threes to Canyon Barry up top of the key. What's good about this too from a Florida perspective is you have a chance to draw plays that maybe you ran once this year. Usually you have a couple plays you have not shown before league play for base OBs where you need a basket. Conversely, Georgia plays sometimes a zone, sometimes a man out of the base OB. So Mike White will have called 2 plays in the huddle, one if they're in a zone, one if they're man. First of all, you've got to identify it right away and know what they're in, and then you've got to attack.
The other thing to note here is that Georgia will not have Yante Maton in the middle. He's fouled out of this game. Hill, Egbunu, Barry, Stone, and Allen are out there on the floor for Florida.
See the call. Stays this way.
Frazier, Harris, Parker, Wilridge, and Obede on the floor right now for Georgia. Gators have the ball, down 1.
Defensive rebounding is going to be critical. You've got to box out whenever that shot goes up. Now, if you're Florida, you don't wait for any time. You want to attack as soon as you can and look for the first good shot.
They also added 4 tenths, so it's 20.7 to go.
Mike White thought the ball was on the other side, so now they have to flip their play. Hopefully nobody gets confused.
Looking for Barry around the top. They couldn't get it to him. Here's Hill. Back out to Stone. Hill on the drive. Contact with Frazier and a blocking foul called. 6.5 seconds to go. And Casey Hill, who just made 1 of 2, will head back to the stripe.
That's a good call. Frazier's out of position, off balance. Hill initiated the contact, good work, didn't push off or anything. I'll tell you what, Keith Stone not taking that shot when he picked up the dribble was the key part of that play. Yep. I thought he was just going to chuck it. He didn't need to.
That ties it.
Hill ties it.
Now he can give Florida the lead.
Florida went offense, defense. They took Chiozza. Put Chiozza in the game. Canyon Barry is off. Mark Fox is upset with the refs, saying you haven't made that call all day.
Interesting, too. Now, Georgia has called its final timeout, so if this ball goes in, they'll set up the play during this huddle to run if you're going to be shooting from behind or tied.
Yeah, why you do that is you don't want to waste your timeout if he does miss and it's a tie game. You want to you got the best guard in the league, arguably. Well, I shouldn't say Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox probably went nuts at that statement.
You might get an argument.
Yeah, there might be an argument there. One of the best players in the league is J.J. Frazier, and one of the best guys creating his own shot. So you want to just get it off the rim and let him go to work.
Yeah.
Now, if they do make it, you want to have a play ready to call. So you want to get it set up now and also ice Hill a little bit. So there's many positives to calling this timeout now.
So Casey Hill, the senior, with a chance here at the free throw line to give Florida the lead. He's 7 for 9 at the line. Can they keep the streak alive? 6 wins in a row. 13 straight home wins over Georgia, going back to 2002. Or can the Dogs pick up their biggest win of the season and a 3rd SEC road win?
Now, Kevon Allen is the only guy at the line, but you got to box out still.
Missed it. Still tied. Frazier with the push, the pull-up. And the first overtime session for both sides this season.
Hill missed that free throw the exact same way he missed the shot before. And Frazier going the other way. That was a great look. And I thought there was money. I thought that was going down when he let it go. We deserve extra basketball. Great game.
Casey Hill had a couple of chances in the final 30 seconds at the line. He missed a couple.
Good job. Good restraint by Kayvon Allen to not foul there. It was very close. And that's Frazier getting a good look right there.
An extra session in Gainesville, Florida, and Georgia when we return.
Prim Saripapat here in studio. We've got a couple great games going on ESPN2. Georgia and Florida, they are tied 67-67. They are headed into overtime. That will continue. And then over on E3 is Oklahoma State versus #2 Kansas. We will get you out to that once the Georgia-Florida game finishes. Beth and Dallin, back to you.
Thank you, Prim, as we welcome you back to overtime, presented by Continental Tire. So a couple of misses at the free throw line for Casey Hill, and then the buzzer beater does not find the bottom of the net for J.J. Frazier, and we'll put an extra 5 minutes on the clock.
And just as the big reset here, Yante Maiden, 20 points per game in league play. He's fouled out with just under 4 minutes to go, so he's out of this game right now. The Bulldogs are undermanned in that regard, but Florida's got some foul trouble too. Kenyon Barry has 4.
On the drive, aggressive from Kayvon Allen.
I like Barry's leadership. He's been really vocal, talking to guys, hyping guys up, staying positive. When they went to OT, first one off the bench to greet the guys coming off. That's what you get from a graduate senior who's a nuclear engineering major.
Oof. He's been their leading scorer today as well, with 23 points as Allen knocks down the free throw. That foul is on Frazier, his 3rd.
I don't even know what nuclear engineers do. Like, I don't even know what that means.
A lot of smart stuff.
Yeah.
Coming over from the College of Charleston.
Like this, the pressure, they double. Harris has looked uncomfortable with the Rock, getting pressured all game. When he has the ball in that full court scenario, they should continue to stay on him.
Who helps to pick up the scoring slack with no Maiten here in overtime. Frazier, a wide open look from 3, and he's got it. And Barry landed awkwardly. Got caught up in traffic and went down to the floor hard.
I think that's might be a mix of going down awkwardly, being a little hurt, and then being mad at yourself because you went under a screen on the best shooter on Georgia's team. And he knew right away, and you could see it. You see the down screen. I leaned back and just was like, how does that happen? He's communicating, talking, but that was the switch. Hill's telling him to switch. You got to go.
23 now for J.J. Frazier to lead Georgia. They're back up 1. Stone for 3. A new career high for the freshman today.
They worked on that in practice yesterday, setting the screen at the top of that zone and just quick pick and pop action against the top of the zone, and it worked excellently.
Stone with 17. He and Barry have combined for 40 off the bench. Obede tried to tip it back up and in. Five on the shot clock. Hill won't go. Scramble for the rebound, and a foul called on Georgia.
Georgia's been unable to clean up their defensive glass at the most critical times here late in this game. They had the free throw. They allowed the extra attempt there. There is a complete brick, but you don't put a body on a body. You don't find a way to get the rock. And Egbunu makes another big play.
A couple of fouls on Parker. Egbunu's 1 for 3 today at the line. Georgia leading for most of the day, and this actually is the biggest lead that Florida has had this afternoon. It will stay at 3. Egbuno to pass into traffic. Obede's shot off the mark. Egbuno with the rebound.
Frazier had 1 touch and gave it up at 22 seconds or so and never got the ball back. They have to have the ball in his hands.
Allen. Now Frazier. 3-on-2. Parker is the trail, and Parker lays it up and in.
Smart play. Frazier could have forced the issue, but Parker called trailer. You could see him coming hard, and a good pass.
Four assists now for JJ to pull within 1.
They should set that screen at the top with Stone again, because he can pop, and he's a threat to hit a 3.
5 on the shot clock. Deep 3, Allen short. Berry keeping it alive with 3 black jerseys around him, and the foul will be on Georgia.
That's such a big play. Talked about his leadership earlier, hyping guys up. Well, he's going to find a way to will himself and his teammates to get a win here. 1-on-3, he goes in. Somebody put a body on him. Parker let him go right by him. Abede didn't check anybody. It was a 3-on-1 situation. And the last 2 possessions for the Gators have been terrible offensively. Exactly what Mike White didn't want in terms of when they play that 2-3 zone matchup, just standing there. Well, they stood there, and they resulted in 2 bad shots, but great play to bail him out by Canyon.
Chioza will come on for Allen. Berry is now 5 of 5 at the line. Stays perfect. Adds to his season high. 25 now for Canyon.
This is where no Maton hurts, because in the side ball screen, Mike Edwards isn't a threat to pop. He's not a threat to really score and roll, so it's a problem.
Maton fouled out in regulation. Frazier, the drive, the kick. Long rebound to Georgia. Frazier will try for 3.
That was the right play. It was a great kick by Frazier. Harris just couldn't get it to go. And that was the right shot, too. He had space, Frazier did. He just a little tired. Talk about getting into guys' legs. He's been dealing with a press all game. He's played nearly 40 minutes. You start to wear. His shot was short.
That did actually just bump him up to 40 minutes today. 1:15 to go. A timeout for each side. Possession arrow with Georgia in a 1-possession game. The 3-point lead for the Gators. What a job by their bench for the 2nd game in a row. Berry with 25, Stone with 17. And for Georgia, it's been Frazier and Parker today on an afternoon where Yante Maton's been in foul trouble.
And he managed. Maton did 15 points in 19 minutes. That's pretty efficient. Now, he did have 6 turnovers, some of them offensive fouls. And when he was in the game late there, they were going to him, and he started to affect the game, but picked up that foul because Casey Hill came over and boxed out. Did a great job. Offensively here, you hold the clock, hold the ball till about 8 seconds, 7 seconds on the shot clock. You don't want to go early at all. But if they come out in that matchup, man, as Mark Fox told us, to mystery defense, if they do that again, I would like to see Keith Stone set a screen on the man on the top of the zone with Kayvon Allen having the ball. Allen more of a threat to go down the lane. Make them help. Stone can pop back. We saw it earlier in the overtime. Stone pops back, buries a three. They should draw up that same scenario and see if they can get it to work again.
Here's the situation with Florida up by 3. Gators trying to get to 5-0 and stay atop the SEC standings with Kentucky. Georgia is a game back at 3-1. Both these teams still have 2 games, both of their games with Kentucky still to come.
And Georgia has more opportunities, but you don't want to let one slip through your fingers.
Yeah.
And they play South Carolina twice, Kentucky twice, and Florida twice. Those are the 3 best teams in the league with the best resumes.
There's a look at what's coming up for Georgia. That's a Vanderbilt team that nearly knocked off Kentucky the other day. At Kentucky, at South Carolina, and then hosting Florida. That's a tough
And at
triple.
A&M, we'll be there next week, actually. And that's not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination.
Gators will have 3 of the next 4 on the road, including that Oklahoma matchup in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. So here we go. Florida with the ball, 1:15 to go, and a 3-point lead. Ten on the shot clock. Hill on the drive. The pull up around and out. Egbuno offensive rebound. Stripped loose. Frazier. What a dash to the rim and the lay-in for J.J. Frazier.
Egbuno was really upset. And he might have a gripe about a foul, but more importantly, you got to chin that thing. You got to be strong with that ball, and worse a foul. At best, maybe kick that thing out and run another 30 seconds.
1-point game, 40 seconds to go. Allen steps through, gets to the rim for the lay-in.
They went in that zone, they screened it high, and Allen, just because he as a player making a play in Georgia, you've got to be alert still. Game's on the line, you got to guard.
Frazier, good entry pass down low. Back to a 1-point game and a timeout for Georgia.
That was a great job by Frazier. Again, in the South Carolina game, I think he would have taken a shot. He forced it a lot, but he's really let the game come to him their last couple games. You could see it there. He came off a ball screen. They're down 3, and he could force it, but he did. He continued to work through the play. And watch Obede, 34 under the hoop here. He's going to come up, set your screen, and he's going to be open when he rolls right there, but you can't make that pass yet. But Frazier continued to come around, saw him, and has found the angle to make the play. In other games you'd seen before, he might have just pulled up with a man on him just because he was feeling it. There, he found the way to get the guy the rock that he knew that Florida had lost within that possession.
Now Florida's trying to figure out, all right, let's inbound it to Barrier Allen. And Mark Fox is saying, do not let them inbound it to Barrier Allen. The top free throw shooters for Florida, who are a combined 9 for 9 today.
Georgia going to face guard and then have
Look, they got 2 guys on Allen.
Turtle Jackson and Frazier on Allen, and see if Harris can handle Barry by himself. And Harris just gets blown by.
And Barry is fouled, so Florida wins that war within the war. And Canyon to the line, he's 6 for 6.
And that's a freshman. Jordan Harris will learn from that play. Mark Fox will say, hey, the game's on the line here, guys. You let Kayvon Allen drive through our defense once. He puts him up 3. Then it's just a man-on-man. You're face guarding him, man-on-man. Barry made one hard plant and ran right by him. You know he's coming back to the ball. You've got to be aware before the ball is in there. You've got to be ready to play, and Harris just wasn't.
One more here for Barry to try and make it a 3-point game. Keep in mind, Georgia, not a prolific 3-point shooting team. Frazier would be your best option if that's what they need.
Now, Houston Kessler just checked in the game. You don't need a 3 right now. You need your best available shot, but you also need big bodies crashing the glass.
Hill will be the defender on Frazier. Off the switch, Frazier had to pick up the dribble. Able to get it back. The 3 ball comes up short. Knocked around and keep. Florida comes out with it in a foul.
It was so loud, I couldn't hear the whistle. And I thought we almost saw a complete meltdown.
Not the case.
Years ago with Kansas State, Purvis Pasco was running around holding up one finger. They traveled, they ended up hitting a 3 and losing. K-State lost the game. I thought we were going to see the same thing.
Egbunu is not a good free throw shooter, just 2 for 5 today.
Great contest. He's been so great on the glass. Multiple offensive boards down the stretch. And that he tipped away. I thought for sure the Bulldogs were going to come down with that. Egbunu would not let it happen.
Shooting 2.
Confident.
4-point lead.
He held that stroke up there with confidence.
And now Florida will use its final timeout.
Now it's all about setting the strategy. If you're Mike White, guys, make or miss. We're switching everything. Talk, keep guys in front of you. Do not foul. When they inbound the ball after he makes this, make them catch it going away from our basket. Those are your instructions. Now, guys, go execute. We're walking out of here with the W. If you're Mark Fox, you want to get that ball advanced as far as you can on the pass and get the quickest shot available. They are out of timeouts. You got to get the ball through the basket, foul again. It's a tall ask, to say the least.
On a day where they have trailed for much of the afternoon and survived a Frazier 3-point shot at the buzzer at the end of regulation. They now sit on the 4-point lead in overtime. A chance for Egbunu to add one more to it. Gators have hit 8 of their last 9 freebies to try and lock this down.
Beth, an old wise man once told me, foul shots win ball games. 8 for 9 down the stretch for a team that is not a great free throw shooting team.
An old wise man.
An old wise man.
Once told you.
He did. Pretty much every day.
Yeah. Looking to extend their winning streak to 7 in a row before heading to South Carolina and deny Georgia what would have been their biggest win of the year. Frazier puts up the 3. Won't go, and Florida beats Georgia in overtime, 80-76.
Only fitting that Egbunu came down with that final defensive rebound. He was huge late in this game, on the glass, making toughness plays. And Florida just willed themselves to a win right now. Georgia's going to go back. I think they're going to get better from this loss, but this one's going to sting because it could have gone a long way to putting them into the field of 68.
44 points off the bench for Canyon Barry and Keith Stone today to lead the way for the Gators as Florida beats Georgia for the 14th time in a row here in Gainesville.